So, acolytes. Karens, Karens want gamers in jail. So, yeah, nice, isn't it? So if you're gaming, you're gonna get into jail just because of collective shout. Yes, the fuckers that actually took away a lot of rights and went with MasterCard that just get bullied want you to go to jail just because you're gaming. My stance on freedom of speech is pretty clear. But in this specific case, I personally think there should be an option to get them into a freaking asylum. This is insanity. For F's sake. How is this allowed? Throwing people into jail just because they play games. Please, for fuck's sake, get the asylums back. Put those Karens in and let it well shut down. This is irrelevant. Let's see what this is all about.
You're a gamer. You play games. But what if a group of people decided that your hobby was a crime? What if they wanted to use police, even international police, to come after you just for disagreeing with them? That's not a joke. It's happening right now, and it's all thanks to a group called Collective Shout, who are trying to get anyone who stands against them arrested. Meet Collective Shout, an Australian group that
Yep. Australia, thank you. Get the F out. You know what? We should isolate every single country that allows this. This is pure insanity. This is just get the freaking asylums back. I don't care if somebody wants to protect freedom of speech or be like, oh, they can say what they want. No, this is insane. F them. Sometimes you just have to shaft people like this. Especially mentally sick people like this. They should be locked up. As soon as somebody threatens you and tries to put you in jail for playing games, it's done. This is a freaking something that's just done. It's not something we should applaud or protect. This isn't freaking speech that should be protected. This shouldn't be an action that we support. They should be instantly put into asylums and just put away from the world so the rest of us can live normally. I cannot effing believe that there are people who actually defend this.
decided they didn't like some of the games on platforms like Steam and itch.io. So what did they do after Gaben wouldn't listen to their complaints? They went after the money. They sent a letter to major payment companies like PayPal and MasterCard demanding they stop working with these game stores. Their argument was that some of the games had extreme content, framing it as illegal and that it should be removed. The thing is, it worked. The payment companies gave in. They told the game stores to clean up their act or they would lose service.
No, the payment companies didn't give in. They already had this in their back mind. This was just a catalyst of actually doing it. That's no giving in with the companies. No. This was a power grab and they tried it.
The game platforms removed thousands of titles to make sure that they fell in line with these financial companies' rules. This response not only hurt the players of these games, it also caused financial damage to real people, including the thousands of developers who spent countless hours on the art and game development.
Yes.
It wasn't only that though. One of PayPal's largest acquiring banks terminated its service with Steam in every currency other than 6. So now it's no longer just about adult games. Nearly every single person on the platform is now directly affected. Also, when a bank terminates,
and that's the way, by the way, because Steam actually tries to make their own payment company, and as soon as this happens, we can actually get rid of this, and you can actually pay it directly. Just stop paying PayPal or something like that. I know it's annoying because I also had to make the freaking steps to actually do it. It's annoying, but that's it. It's just annoying. This is something. This is a freaking power grab that just shouldn't happen. And the thing is, this is getting right now worse and worse. And for everyone who actually defends this and says, yeah, we cannot go down and sacrifice our morals. No, sorry. At some point, I just don't know what the moral here is. Where is the moral standpoint of actually letting the companies do whatever they fucking want, treat us like garbage, and we won't defend ourselves? Where is the moral freaking high ground there? For F's sake, I don't care if MasterCard and all the people there lose their jobs. Tough shit. I won't let some freaks have a say in my life just because they feel butthurt because Steam sells some games. F them. F single one of them. Let the entire credit card companies just die out. Who the fuck cares?
Its service with a merchant, they report it to the match list. We covered it in our previous video, but it's a secret confidential list that top banks and financial companies like MasterCard and Visa use to monitor risky merchants. Imagine it as a big red flag or a warning telling other banks not to work with Valve.
Yep.
Although the match list database is kept extremely private, the fact a bank has terminated service with Valve means they are highly likely to...
Yeah, it's... If you actually wanted to get information out of it, you would. It's... Nothing is so private that you cannot get it in any kind of way. There is always a red... a red in this case, I would say somebody who's actually normal and would release it.
Be on this blacklist. After their win, Collective Shout couldn't stop talking about the situation. You'd think a group that got what it wanted would move on to bigger things. But of course this group does.
Of course not. We're already having those freaks for 15 years. Since when did even one of those Karens stop after they got what they wanted? This never happened, and it never will happen. And you know why? Because those are freaking power-hungry, power-grabbing freaks. That's why I say lock them into asylums, because that's the only language they understand.
Doesn't actually care about protecting anyone other than removing content they don't like. To defend their actions, Collective Shout has been trying to paint these games as highly illegal to larger organizations that have little understanding of gaming, like a United Nations Special Rapporteur. A UN rapporteur are independent human rights experts who simply...
The thing is, no, that's... The game thing or that have no idea about games is irrelevant because none of those games is worse than OnlyFans. And MasterCard and the others actually still support OnlyFans. So, yeah, fuck them. Every single one
investigate
of them.
And advise on issues. The fact that Collective Shout is trying to get one on their side shows they're actively working to legitimize their claims to a wider non-gaming audience. And now, they found a partner in a report from a group called the Online Hate Prevention Institute. This report, which sides with Collective Shout, is just saying why they think this censorship is so good and framing the pushback from gamers as a hateful, misogynistic campaign. But the most interesting part is when you reach the bottom conclusion. The Online Hate Prevention Institute has been shocked by both the extreme nature and volume of the content we have seen attacking Collective Shout, the women who work there, and those that serve on its board of directors. The connect comes from accounts across multiple platforms. In some cases, new throwaway accounts have been created in an effort to anonymously post threats while trying to avoid any consequences.
Yeah, you want those people in jail for playing games. Yeah, at some point it's actually quite understandable why you get shit. You want me to go to jail for playing a game. F you! If you get bullied, good.
These are serious cases of cyber harassment, and there needs to be government responses, including international cooperation between law enforcement agencies. Threats of death and rape are not free speech, not even in the United States.
Yeah, and wanting everybody to actually freaking go in. You know what? I agree. Freaking threats and of airing and freaking offing somebody isn't freedom of speech. I agree with that. But you know what? You wanting me in jail is actually asylum worthy. And you're not in an asylum. So, Next step, we defend differently. You're not going into asylum, so you get what you deserve. You fuck around, you
Where
find
some of the
out.
trolls clearly come from. We're not talking about your local police. We're talking about agencies that deal with serious international crimes. They're asking for help from organizations like Interpol. It's crucial to understand that Interpol isn't a police force that would directly arrest you. Instead, it's a network that communicates between different countries' police. It would allow an Australian police force, like the Australian Federal Police, to coordinate with agencies in other countries, like the FBI in the US, to track down and investigate people. So Collective Shout's allies want to use laws that were designed to fight cybercrime, like harassment, threats, and defamation, to go after gamers who simply just don't want their games censored and controlled by people who have never played a video game in their life.
Yes, as always, those freaks want us, those fucking Karens want exactly that. Damn.
And while no one should accept threats of violence, a number of people have found that Collective Shout has been faking threats against themselves to gain sympathy and get donations. They genuinely think that if they just say the games are illegal and anyone who speaks up against them is misogynistic or a rapist, that it will just make everyone agree and listen to them. Remember,
And you know why? Because it worked. It works, and it still works to a very freaking low degree. It just works. And that's why I'm saying, put them into asylums. This is total insanity. Why do I have to put up with this crap just because some fucking Karen in Australia wants to put her tits out and just fucking bully me for no reason? I didn't do anything to them. And a lot of other gamers didn't do anything to them. Those fuckers just damn.
like Valve has said, the games they were targeting were legal and fit inside their original policies. So it genuinely seems like Collective Shout may actually start to work with police to pursue criminal charges against gamers. Collective Shout is straight up coming into a space that's not theirs, trying to control it, and they don't want anyone to speak up against it. They got cooked so hard they had to private their X account, which is most likely why they had to start begging for donations, as they were starting to look bad for their supporters. So let that all sink in.
Good.
The group is trying to get international...
And them and their supporters should get the find out part very heavily, very quickly. And optimally, them and every supporter goes into an asylum. Because this is effing insanity. Or to freaking prison, let them work until they freaking die. Honestly. What the F? It's...
no police involved. They want law enforcement to target people who oppose them. Although Collective Shout tries to act like the victims, this campaign has already directly affected thousands of developers, many of them small, independent creators who lost their income overnight. Luckily, Valve is on their side, but that still doesn't change the fact that their previous work was removed. So
no, the thing is, it will still take time. And this time, in that time, there can be a lot of actual victims of this, or there are already a lot of victims of this, that didn't do nothing fucking wrong in any kind of normal mind, and yet they lost everything. Just because a few Karens went in and wanted a power grab, just because their fifis got hurt. Honestly, I just don't fucking know how aren't those women in an asylum. Put them in an asylum. Those fuckers need to go in an asylum. Somebody that does this needs to be in a freaking asylum. This is insanity. This isn't normal human behavior. This is, well, I want to say Sparta, but, you know, this is Karen. This is fucking Karen.
Collective Shout is directly responsible for inflicting financial damage on thousands of people. Because Collective Shout is an Australian group, these developers could group together and file a class action lawsuit against them for economical damages. Their most likely path to a win would be in an Australian court, as US courts would have difficulty claiming jurisdiction over an Australian organization for actions that launched overseas. This is just a thought for all
the thing is, if you don't have money, you don't get justice. It's just simple as that. That's why I always freaking fuck around with with the court system that we have right now, because this isn't about justice. This is about making money like everything else. I mean, for F's sake, I understand that if it's for free, that like we need a system of something where we can just decide who to actually go and who goes and doesn't go into freaking judges room and then gets actual things done. Because as it is right now, it's just a money throwing thing. If you have more money, you win. Done. Most of the times.
The game developers who are affected, as these power-hungry people won't stop until they face consequences. It also won't just stop here. According to MasterCard's rules, any game with non-consensual mutilation could be hit, and since Steam is now forced to follow their rules, this means nearly every top game could get removed. By not fighting back, we are allowing a small group to dictate what is acceptable for an entire global community. Trump has signed an executive order that is meant to stop banks from debanking or denying financial services for political or reputational risk reasons. So if it is a lawful activity, they can't deny it, which is what's happening exactly here. While this executive order is a big step, it's not a full law just yet and won't help everyone around the world. Now, regardless of how long it takes, I wouldn't be surprised if Valve comes out with a solution so they no longer have to be dependent on these large financial companies. Make sure you support the developers, speak out against this kind of censorship, and whatever you do, don't let them win.
Yeah, he's correct about it. Oh, for F's sake, little man, irrelevant. Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of the day, for F's sake, why? Why would you do this? Honestly, why? Why? What's the freaking thing behind it? I mean, I understand it. It's a freaking power grab. Don't get me wrong. It's just so disgusting that we live in a time where freaking criminals like that just get rewarded for their bad behavior. How is this a thing? Oh, we need to shaft every single one of them, put them into asylums, and everybody who supports them, even in the... If you know somebody that actually defends this, instantly say to them and tell them why the fuck they are wrong. And tell them in no unclear circumstances, in clear words. If you are supporting a mentally ill Karen that just wants a power grab, why? And if their motivation isn't clear, then the motivation is clear. Because supporting stuff like that is just stupid to the freaking max. But as it is, acolytes, good night.